All right, we begin boys basketball. Hill City versus Plainville. Should be a good one tonight, as last time these two met up, Hill City won by a score of +10, I do believe, right? As Casey gets the ball here. Sorry, some technical difficulties. Just give me a minute. Looked like Clay Pelton hit a 3 right there. As Lindemann giving it to McDowell. McDowell giving it over to Keith. Keith over back to Lindemann. Lindemann down to Jernigan. Jernigan shoots it. Rebounded there by Casey as it doesn't go in. Casey now on the drive. Casey puts it in. Casey gets the ball back now. Casey passing it over to Osmeyer. Osmeyer over to Vanskyver. Vanskyver all the way back over to Casey. Casey down to Vanskyver. Vanskyver to Whitney, and it doesn't fall. As Lindemann gets the ball here. Lindemann passes it to Keith. Keith over to McDowell. McDowell to Richmeyer. Richmeyer back to Lindemann. Lindemann over to Jernigan. Jernigan going for the 3 right there. As Richmeyer gets the ball back to Lindemann. Lindemann going for the drive. And just off the mark, rebounded by Whitney. Whitney giving it to Vanskyver. Casey now with the ball. Casey passes it over to Pelton. Pelton back to Casey. Casey fakes. Goes for the drive, passing it to Vanskyver. Vanskyver gets it to roll in. And Vanskyver now with his first points of the night. Casey 2, Pelton 3, Vanskyver 2. As we go to a timeout. We're back here from the timeout. Lindemann has the ball. Lindemann passes it over to Richmeyer. Richmeyer over to Jernigan. Jernigan goes for the drive now. Looks like the foul there is on Vanskyver as Jernigan goes for his first free throw, and it's not going to be put in right there. Jernigan gets the second one to fall right there. Casey passing it to Pelton in the corner. Pelton back to Casey. Casey down to Vanskyver. Vanskyver is going to get fouled. It's going to be his first personal foul for Keith as Vanskyver goes to the line for the first time tonight. Vanskyver sinks his first one. Vanskyver now with 3 points on the night. And the second one just rolls out right there. As he's going to get another one. And just rolls out once again. Rebounded there by Whitney, though. And stolen by Jernigan. Jernigan gets the ball. Stolen there by Casey. Casey now on a fast break. Passing over to Pelton. Pelton back to Casey. Casey fakes it. Going in for a drive. And we're going to have a jump ball here. It's going to be ring neck ball. We have Jernigan passing it in.
Into the ring next, number 34, Michael Blanks.
We have Blanks coming in now for Hill City. As Blanks passes it to Lindemann. Lindemann over to Richmar. Richmar at the top of the key. Had an open three right there. Not going to take it. Stolen there. Almost stolen there by Osmeyer. Be another jump ball. It's going to be Plainville ball now. Casey passing over to Pelton. Pelton back to Casey. Casey's going to shoot the deep three. He says, why not, as it doesn't go in. Rebound there by Whitney. We're going to get another foul here. Looks like the foul's going to be on McDowell. First personal foul for McDowell as Whitney goes to the line for the first time tonight. First one's off right there. Whitney now going for his second free throw. And that one's off once again. Rebounded there by McDowell. McDowell giving it to Lindemann. Lindemann back over to McDowell. McDowell to Richmeyer. Richmeyer to Blanks. Blanks to Lindemann. Lindemann going in for a drive. And he puts it in. Jacob Lindemann's first points of the night. As Casey has the ball here. Looking for an open man with Richmeyer in his face. Trying to set up a play, giving it to Pelton here. Pelton back over to Casey. Casey passing all the way over there to Osmeyer. Osmeyer down into Whitney, and Whitney's going to put it in right there. Big man on campus. That'll be Whitney's first points of the night. The Cardinals up 10-3 over the Ringnecks as Blanks gets the ball here, giving it to McDowell. McDowell over to Richmeyer. Richmeyer to Lindemann. Lindemann passing it over back to Richmeyer. Richmeyer to McDowell. McDowell giving it to Lindemann. Lindemann goes in for another drive. And we have Keith coming in. That'll be Van Skyver's second personal foul. As I did not see who got that ball, but Whitney gets the rebound here, giving it to Casey. Casey goes in on the drive, and he's going to get fouled. That'll be Keith's second personal foul as Casey goes to the line for the first time tonight. Casey sinks his first one. Casey now with 3 points on the night. As we have Blanks coming back in for Keith. And Casey sinks the second one. Jared Casey now 4 points. As McDowell gives the ball back to Lindemann. Jernigan giving it back to McDowell. McDowell to Richmeyer. Richmeyer passing it back to Lindemann at the top of the key. Lindemann looking for a move, giving it back to Richmeyer. Richmeyer down over to Jernigan. Jernigan almost gets it stolen there by Casey. Jernigan's going to shoot it up. It's rebounded there by Blanks, and Blanks looks to put it back in. He's going to get fouled there by, I believe, Whitney.
Fouls on number 21, Whitney, first personal, third team foul.
That'll be first personal foul there for Garrett Whitney. As Blanks makes his first one, I do believe I missed it because I have to do stats. And he makes his second. Blanks now 2 points on the night. 12-5, 2:45 remaining in the first period. Cardinals up by 7. As Pelton goes for a 3, and Pelton sinks the 3. 6 points now for Clay Pelton. As Lindemann gives the ball here to McDowell. McDowell giving it to Richmeyer. Richmeyer to Lindemann. Lindemann passing it all the way back over to McDowell. McDowell throws it up. Doesn't go in. Rebounded by Jernigan. And Jernigan looks to put it back in. It's not going to go in. We're going to get another foul here.
Fouls on number 21, Whitney, second personal.
That'll be Whitney's second personal foul there. As we have Dobson coming in for Whitney right now. Jernigan passing it in now. Jernigan passes it to McDowell. McDowell back over to Jernigan. Jernigan's looking for a shot. And rebounded there by Casey. Casey passes it over to, it looked like Dewey, and Dewey doesn't get it as it rolls out of bounds. As Dewey throws it in here, Dewey passes it over to Casey. Casey's going to shoot the 3, and it's off the mark. Rebounded by Osmeyer, and it's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be ring neck ball. We have Lindemann with the ball. Lindemann passing it to Jernigan. Jernigan back over to Richmeyer. Richmeyer to Blanks. Blanks to McDowell. McDowell over to Jernigan. Jernigan with Casey in his face. Jernigan over to Richmeyer. Richmeyer going in on a drive. And he's going to get fouled. And it's going to be a foul there on Jared Casey, his first personal foul.
Fouls on number 5, Casey, first personal.
Richmeyer passing it in now. Richmeyer passes it to McDowell. McDowell over to Lindemann. Lindemann's going to shoot the 3. And Lindemann sinks the 3. Lindemann now 5 points. Now a 7-point deficit for the Ringnecks as Pelton gets the ball here from Dewey. Pelton giving it to Dobson. Dobson gets it stolen there by McDowell. Oh, I missed the thing. I coughed. Lindemann with another 3. 8 points now for Jacob Lindemann. I meant to click the mute button when I coughed. I'm sorry. As Osmeyer gives the ball to Casey. Casey over to Osmeyer. That was only a 2 by Lindemann, I do believe. So 7 points for Lindemann. As Lindemann gets the ball here again, he's going to shoot the 2, and that one goes in. 9 points for Jacob Lindemann right now. Casey gets the ball. Casey passing it to Osmeyer. Osmeyer down to Dewey, and Dewey puts it in right there. Just pushing everyone out of his way. Dewey's first points of the night. As Lindemann's going to shoot another jumper, and it's going to be rebounded there by Jared Casey. Casey looking at the time. Last second shot, and almost goes in. Rebounded there by Clay Pelton. We're going to go to break. We'll be back for the second period here in a short. Back for the second period. I have received word from wrestling. Defending state champion Jordan Finnessy has pinned Brell Spees to go to the finals. Tomorrow he will face Brandon Vasura from Norton. Jernigan gets the ball, giving it to Richmeyer. Richmeyer giving it to Lindemann. Lindemann looking to set up a play. Lindemann gives it to McDowell. McDowell passes it to Jernigan. Jernigan over back to Lindemann. Richmeyer gets the ball from Lindemann, giving it to Blanks, and Blanks looks like he's going to put it in right there. Blanks has 4 points on the night. Casey passing it over to Osmeyer. Osmeyer to Dewey. Dewey back to Osmeyer. Osmeyer to Casey. Casey fakes it. Goes in on the drive. Shoots the jumper, and it's doesn't go in right there. Rebounded by McDowell. McDowell now looking for the layup, and it's not going to go in. We're going to – nope, no foul. It's going to be Plainville ball. Never mind, we will get a foul. Foul on Dalen Jernigan, his first personal foul. Casey gives it to Osmeyer. Osmeyer back to Casey. Casey over to Krob. Krob all the way back over to Osmeyer. Osmeyer all the way back over to Krob. Casey with the deep three. Just off right there. Rebounded by Osmeyer. Osmeyer stolen there by Richmeyer. And we're going to have a substitution here. We have Hayes coming in for Osmeyer.
And for the Cardinals, number 24, Eli Hayes.
Dewey gets the ball, passing it to Krob, and it's off Krob's hands, out of bounds. Lindemann gets the ball here from Blanks. It's only a 3-point deficit now for the Ringnecks. As Jernigan gets the ball now. Jernigan goes in for the drive. And that's going to be a charge there on Jernigan.
Offensive foul calling for 12, Jernigan, second personal. 15th foul.
Casey's going to inbound the ball now. Casey passing it to Dewey. Dewey over to Krob. Krob, Dobson. Dobson over to Krob. Krob passing it back into Dobson. Dobson to Casey. Casey for three. Casey sinks the three. Jared Casey now with 7 points on the night. As McDowell gives it to Richmeyer. Richmeyer over to Lindemann. Lindemann to Jernigan. Jernigan passes it back over to Richmeyer. And it's going to be out of bounds there. Plainville ball.
Back in for the ring, next number 32, Keith.
We have number 32, Keith, coming in now. Dewey gets the ball here from Casey. And Casey's going to shoot another three, and that goes in. Jared Casey, 10 points on the night for Jared Casey. What a game right now as the score 23, Plainville, 14, Hill City. We're going to go to a timeout break. Be back with you in a short. And we're back from the timeout. 5:28 remaining in the second period. 23-14 still as McDowell gets the ball here. McDowell passes it to Lindemann. Lindemann down to Keith. Keith passing it to Blanks. Blanks had a wide open three right there. Doesn't take it, giving it back to McDowell. McDowell over to Keith. Great defense right now by the Cardinals as Lindemann gets the ball. Lindemann giving it to Jernigan. Jernigan looking for a drive. Passing it back over to Keith. Keith is going to shoot it, and it's going to be rebounded there by Blanks. We're going to get a foul here. Going to be a push foul here on Anders Dewey.
Fouls on number 11, Dewey, first personal. 16 now.
And Lindemann passes in here to McDowell, but it's stolen there by Anders Dewey, and Dewey puts it in right there. What a play there by Anderson Dewey.
Let's go by Dewey.
That is now 4 points for Dewey on the night as Keith gets the ball. Keith passing it to Blanks. Blanks over to Lindemann. Lindemann looking for a drive. He's going to shoot the two. And that's just off. Rebounded by Casey. Casey stumbles, catches himself. Casey passing it to Krob. Krob down to Dewey. Dewey over to Dobson. Dobson shoots the two, and Dobson puts it in. Dobson's first points of the night. He has two. As Lindemann gets the ball, Lindemann passing it over to Blanks. Blanks to Jernigan. Jernigan's going to shoot the deep two, and that falls. Dalen Jernigan with 3 points on the night. Unofficial scores. As Krob gets the three, and it doesn't fall. It's going to be rebounded there by Lindemann, giving it to Blanks. Lindemann gets the ball back from Blanks. And Lindemann passes over to Jernigan. Jernigan looking for an open man. Finds Lindemann in the corner. Lindemann down over to Keith. Looks like we're going to get another foul. That'll be Eli Hayes' first personal foul. We have Keith going to the line for the first time tonight. And Keith sinks it. That'll be his first points of the night. And the second one goes in. Keith now 2 points on the night. Dewey now with the ball. Passing over to Dobson. Dobson to Pelton. Pelton over to Dewey. Dewey going in on the drive. And he's going to get the foul.
Number 34, Blanks, first
Looks like that'll be Blank's first personal foul. Dewey goes to the line. And just in and out right there for Dewey. Dewey going for his second free throw now. And Dewey sunk his second one. Sorry, I was doing stats. As Jernigan passes it down into Keith, and Keith puts it in. Keith now 4 points on the night. And Dewey has 5. As Pelton gives the ball here to Dobson. Dobson into Hayes, and Hayes is going to put it in. Hayes gets the and one. Eli Hayes' first points of the night. Going to be a foul there on Jacob Lindemann, his first personal foul. As Hayes goes to the line to shoot one. And it's just off the mark, rebounded by Blanks. Blanks giving it to McDowell. McDowell into Jernigan. Jernigan to Richmeyer. Richmeyer has an open three right there. It's just off the front iron. Side iron, my bad. And Casey gets the rebound. Casey baseball pass into Hayes, and Hayes puts it in. Eli Hayes now 4 points. Great catch and put back for Hayes. And Richmeyer passes the ball there to Blanks. Blanks over to Jernigan. Jernigan's going to shoot the three, and that goes in. Dalen Jernigan now 6 points on the night as Dewey gets the ball, passing it to Pelton. Giving it to Casey. Casey with Jernigan in his face, passing it over to Dewey. Dewey back over to Pelton, but it's stolen there by McDowell, and McDowell looking to make a play. And looks like he's going to get fouled. Crazy legs McDowell right there.
Fouls on number 10, Pelton, first personal.
First personal foul there for Clay Pelton. And McDowell's first one goes in. That'll be his first points of the night.
And for the ring next, number 40, Hayes. Also back in number 10, Linda.
And McDowell goes for a second. It's just in and out right there. Rebounded by Casey. Casey on a fast break, giving it to Pelton. And Pelton is going to get fouled. It's going to be a push foul. He's going to go to the line for two. Looks like the foul was on Jacob Lindemann, his second personal foul. As Pelton made his first one right there. Pelton makes his second. Oh, he did not make the first one. Sorry, I was looking down at the paper. Anyways, get back to the game. Pelton now with 7 points on the night. As Bates makes it right there. Bates with his first points of the night, and then we're going to get another foul here.
Fouls on number 12, Jernigan, third personal.
That will be Dalen Jernigan's third personal foul. As it falls out there for Pelton. He goes for his second right now. And he sinks the second one. Going for his third right here. And he sinks that one. 9 points now for Clay Pelton. As Lindemann gets the ball. Lindemann passing it over to Richmeyer. Richmeyer down into Keith. Keith with Casey in his face. Still sinks it right there. Keith now with 6 points, all in the second quarter. As the ball's over to Pelton, and Pelton shoots the three. Pelton sinks the three. 38-28. Cardinals lead by 10. Clay Pelton with an astounding 12 points tonight as McDowell gets the ball here. And we're going to get a push foul. It's going to be a foul there on Osmeyer. His first personal foul. As McDowell sinks his first one. McDowell now 2 points on the night. McDowell sinks his second one. 3 points now for McDowell. Dewey gets the ball here. Dewey passing it down into Casey. Casey passing it back to Hayes. Hayes for three. Hayes sinks the three. Eli Hayes. 7 points on the night. Short time remaining here for the Ringnecks as Lindemann's bringing the ball down. Lindemann giving it to Keith. Keith over to McDowell. McDowell passing it to Blanks. Blanks over back to McDowell. McDowell, crazy legs, gets out. Crazy legs McDowell can't get it to fall. As Casey's going to get the ball, and wait out the rest of this quarter and then probably sink a 3 right in Richmeyer's eye. Ooh, about called it. Hayes puts it back in. That'll be the end of your first half. 43 Plainville, Hill City 30, a 13-point lead for your Plainville Cardinals. We'll be back here in about 10 to 15 minutes for the second half of the boys game. All right, we're back for the second half now. Plainville up 43-30. Hill City was coming back. They had a 3-point deficit, but Eli Hayes, Clay Pelton, Jared Casey just started hitting bangers as they're up now by 13. As Pelton gives the ball here to Van Sciver. Van Sciver to Osmar. Osmar over to Casey. Casey over to Whitney. Whitney back to Pelton. Pelton to Osmar. Osmar to Casey, and we're just having a passing frenzy here as Casey's going to go for a drive. Rolls in, but it's not going to count. It'll be Hill City ball here. Lindemann gets the ball. Lindemann passing it over to Richmeyer. Richmeyer over to Jernigan. Jernigan's going to shoot the deep two, and it's not going to fall. Give him to Casey. Casey giving it to Pelton. Pelton to Osmar. Osmar to Van Sciver. Van Sciver over to Pelton. And we get a foul here. That'll be third personal foul for Garrett Whitney. Jernigan passing it in to Lindemann. Lindemann passing it back to Jernigan. Jernigan over to McDowell. McDowell to Richmeyer. Richmeyer into McDowell. McDowell now giving it to Keith. Keith with the deep two, and Keith sinks that one. Keith now with Keith now with 8 points. I was looking at McDowell's. As goes out of bounds. It's going to be ring neck ball. Lindemann gets the ball here. Lindemann coming down the court now with Van Sciver in his face, passing it over to McDowell. McDowell to Keith. Keith shoots it, but it's not going to go in. Rebounded by Lindemann. Lindemann passing it over to Jernigan. Jernigan shoots it and doesn't go in. Rebounded by Jared Casey. Jared Casey now on a fast break and gets it stolen there. And there looks like it's going to be Plainville ball as McDowell slides out of bounds with the ball. Clay Pelton now passing in to Casey. Casey's going to drive. He puts up the two and sinks it. Jared Casey now 12 points on the night as Keith gets the ball here. Keith passing it to McDowell. McDowell over to Richmeyer. Richmeyer passing it to Lindemann. Lindemann with Van Sciver in his face goes for the drive. Almost gets it stolen there, passing it to Keith, and Keith looks like he's going to put it in, but doesn't put it in as it's rebounded there by Osmeyer. Osmeyer giving it to Casey. Back to Casey from Pelton. Casey passing it over to Van Sciver. Van Sciver to Casey. Casey for the three, and just off the front iron there, rebounded by McDowell. McDowell setting up a play. Giving it to Keith, and Keith gets denied there by Osmeyer. Casey giving it to Pelton. Pelton over to Dobson. Dobson passing it to Osmeyer. Osmeyer over to Casey. Casey with Jernigan in his face. Casey going for the drive again, passing it to Dobson. Dobson with the two. And it's not going to fall as it's rebounded there by Richmeyer. Richmeyer passes it to Jernigan. Jernigan over to Keith, my bad. Over to Jernigan. Jernigan's going to shoot the two, and he's going to put it in right there. 8 points now for Dalen Jernigan as Van Skyver gets the ball over to Osmeyer. Osmeyer with the 2, and Osmeyer sinks the 2. Osmeyer's first points of the night right there. Plainville 47, Hill City 34, 4:04 remaining in the third period as Lindemann gets the ball going for the drive here. Passing it to Jernigan. Jernigan's going to get fouled there. Looks like it's going to be a push foul. Looks like the foul is going to be on Dobson. Dobson's first personal foul. And Jernigan puts his first one in right there. Jernigan now with 9 points on the night. With Osmeyer and Van Skyver exiting, we have Dewey and Hayes entering as Jernigan goes for his second free throw. And that one rolls in. Jernigan now with 10 points on the night. And Dewey looks to put it in right there, rebounded by Jernigan. Jernigan has the ball now. Jernigan giving it to Lindemann. Lindemann to McDowell, and almost out of the hands of McDowell as Jernigan goes for the 3, and Jernigan puts in the 3. 13 points now for Dalen Jernigan, 39-47. Plainville leads still. Only an 8-point deficit now for the Ringnecks. That'll be Osmeyer's second personal foul. It's going to go out of bounds again. Plainville ball still. As we have Anderson Dewey passing it in. And Dewey passed all the way over to Casey. Casey to Dewey. Dewey's going under the basket and trying to draw the foul there, but it's stolen there by Hayes. Pelton giving it to Casey. Casey with Jernigan in his face. Casey looking to make a play happen here. Passing it over to Dewey. As Dewey passes it to Casey. Casey down it into Hayes. Hayes puts it in, but it's not going to count. It's going to be a foul here. Fouls on Eli Hayes. Second personal. As Lindemann gets the ball coming down the court now with Dewey in his face. Passing it to Richmeyer. Richmeyer passing it down to Keith. Keith to Blanks for 3. And it's just off right there. Looks like we're going to get a foul here on Cale Dobson, his second personal foul. Jernigan passed it into, and there was no travel called there. As Richmeyer puts it back in. That point shouldn't have counted, but it's okay. As Dewey gets the ball here. Dewey passes it to Hayes, and Hayes misses the layup. Tensions rising here in Hill City, Kansas. As we get another foul, and looks like it is on Keith of Hill City, his third personal foul. As Casey gets the ball here. 6-point deficit for the Ringnecks right now. As Krob is now in, down to Hayes, and Hayes is going to get called for traveling right there. Lindemann gets the ball. Lindemann on a drive now, and Lindemann's going to get called to the travel. And Dewey's going to pass in here to Casey. Casey back to Dewey. Dewey over to Dobson. Dobson to Hayes. Hayes going to shoot the mid-range too. And it's not going to fall. Rebounded there by Richmeyer. Richmeyer going in now. Richmeyer looking for the three. And just off right there, rebounded by Blanks. Blanks giving it to Lindemann. Lindemann over to Richmeyer. Richmeyer down to Keith. Keith going to shoot it. It's not going to go in. Rebounded there by Casey. Casey now giving it to Dewey. Dewey had a wide open three right there as Parker Krobe doesn't get it. It's going to be swatted there. Rebounded by Keith. Keith giving it to Lindemann. Lindemann now on a drive. Lindemann giving it to Blanks. Blanks over back to Lindemann. It's going to go out of bounds. It's going to be Plainville ball. One minute and 11 seconds remaining in the third period. 47-41, your Cardinals up by 6. As Dewey gets the ball here from Casey. Dewey giving it to Vanskyver. Vanskyver to Krobe, and Krobe puts it in. Krobe's first points of the night. McDowell with the ball now. McDowell passing it to a wide open Richmeyer. Richmeyer's not going to take it. He's going to drive. And there's going to be another foul here. Going to be a foul there on Osmeyer. 24, Eli Hayes with the foul. His third personal foul. As Richmeyer goes to the line to shoot 2. And it just rolls in right there for Richmeyer. 3 points on the night for Richmeyer. Now Osmeyer is in. Richmeyer going for his second free throw. And he sinks that one. Richmeyer now 4 points on the night. As Dewey gets the ball now. Dewey passing it to Vanskyver. Vanskyver over to Osmeyer. Osmeyer had an open three right there. I don't know what happened to Keith's legs right there, but they done broke.
That was number 32, Keith, for personal, 13 foul.
That'll be Keith's fourth personal foul, my bad. As Casey gives it to Dewey. Dewey for 3, and it's in. 52-43. Anderson Dewey now with 8 points on the night as Lindemann gives the ball here to Crazy Legs McDowell. McDowell to Jernigan. Jernigan to Richmeyer. Richmeyer over to Lindemann. Lindemann with Dewey in his face. And it's going to be a foul right there. Even though you could clearly see that Lindemann pushed Dewey. That'll be Dewey's second personal foul as Lindemann goes to the line for 2. Lindemann sinks the first one. $12 points now for Jacob Lindemann. 13. As we're going to get a last second shot here. And Anders Dewey puts in the and one. Flex on a boy. Anders Dewey having one heck of a night. 10 points for Anders Dewey. Looking for 11 and just off the front iron. And that is not good there by Brody McDowell. We're going to take a short break. Going to be back with you in the fourth period. Back with you in the fourth period. Cardinals up 54-45. So we're going to have Jernigan passing it into McDowell. McDowell over to Lindemann. Lindemann over to Richmeyer. And Richmeyer is going to shoot the two, and it's going to bounce off right there as Casey gives the ball down to Dewey. And Dewey's going to put it in. Anders Dewey. 12 points now for Anders Dewey. As Richmeyer gets the ball, giving it to Keith. Keith giving it to McDowell. McDowell going in for the two, and McDowell puts it in. That'll be McDowell's 5th point of the night. These are unofficial scores as Dewey goes in for another, and he puts it in, but it's not going to count. Lindemann gets the ball. Lindemann giving it to Richmeyer. Richmeyer to Jernigan. Jernigan over to Keith. Keith gets it stolen there by Dewey, and Dewey passing it, and it's going to go out of bounds. Thought Vanskyver was going to get the easy two right there, but it goes out of bounds. And we have blanks checking in for Keith. As Casey gets the ball here. Casey passing it to Vanskyver. Vanskyver to Whitney. Whitney to Dewey. Dewey looking for a shot, passing it over to Pelton. Pelton to Casey. Casey back to Vanskyver. Vanskyver to Whitney. Not finding anyone. Dewey's going to do the long two. Hit the long two. Just burped. 14 points now for Anders Dewey, having himself one heck of a game. Richmeyer is going to shoot the two, and it's going to go off right there. Rebounded by Pelton, giving it to Dewey. It's now 58-47 Cardinal lead. As we're going to get another foul here. That'll be Richmeyer's first personal foul right there. As Dewey's going to get the ball here. Dewey passing into Casey. Casey on the drive. And just doesn't go in right there. Rebounded by McDowell. McDowell over to Lindemann. Lindemann to Jernigan. Jernigan nowhere to go. Dewey right in his face. As Lindemann gets the ball here from Jernigan. Setting up a play, giving it to Jernigan. Jernigan back over to, looks like blanks. And McDowell gets the ball. McDowell over to Jernigan. Jernigan on the drive, and Jernigan's going to throw it up, and it somehow goes in. 15 points now for Dalen Jernigan. As Vanskyver has the ball, giving it to Whitney. Whitney over to Pelton. Pelton passing back to Casey. Casey down to Vanskyver. Vanskyver puts it in. Vanskyver now 5 points on the night. And Lindemann's going to go in and drive again. Looks like he's going to get fouled. He's going to go to the line for two. That'll be Dewey's third personal foul. As Lindemann goes to the line, shoot two. And his first one's in right there. Lindemann for his second, and just out right there. Rebounded by Vanskyver. Vanskyver to Casey. Casey down over to Dewey. Dewey on the drive, and it's going to get popped up there. Rebounded by Whitney, and Whitney puts it in. Whitney was at the right place at the right time on that play. 4 points now for Garrett Whitney as Lindemann brings the ball down. Lindemann passing it to Jernigan. Jernigan over to McDowell. McDowell with the spin, and he's going to almost lay it in right there. As Casey Pass it to Whitney, and Whitney almost puts in another one right there. Whitney's going to go to the line for 2.
That was on number 22, McDowell.
That'll be McDowell's 4th personal foul. As we have Osmeyer checking in here for Van Sciver. Whitney now with 5 points of the night, looking to make it 6 right here. And he does. 14-point lead now for your Plainville Cardinals.
Good job, Garrett.
6 points now for Garrett Whitney as McDowell gets the ball here from Keith. And McDowell over to Blanks. Blanks over to Jernigan. And that goes in. 3 ball by Keith. $11 points now for Keith. As Hayes gets the ball here from Osmeyer. Osmeyer to Casey. Casey fakes it, and he's going to drive. Almost puts it in right there off the hands of Blanks. Giving it to Lindemann. Lindeman's going to take it down now. Lindemann to Jernigan. Jernigan's going to shoot the 3, and it's off right there. Rebounded by Dewey. Impressive showing here tonight by Anders Dewey. Great defensively and mostly offensively wise. Giving it to Krob. Krob to Dewey, and Dewey's going to almost put in another one right there as Lindemann gets the ball. Lindemann passing all the way down to Blanks, and Blanks is going to drive in. He's going to go to the foul line for 2.
That was number 22, Osmeyer, second person. Blanks to the line.
That'll be Osmeyer's 2nd personal foul. As Blanks misses his first one right there. We have Dobson checking in here for Osmeyer. And Blanks sinks his second one. Blanks now has 5 points on the night as Dewey brings the ball down, giving it to Dobson. Dobson down into Casey, and Casey puts it in with ease. 66-54 now. The Cardinals looking like they're running away with this one. As McDowell puts it in. 14 points for Jared Casey. And 7 points for Brody McDowell. As Hayes gets the ball. Hayes passing it to Casey. Casey over to Krob. Krob back to Hayes. Hayes to Casey. Casey wide open for a 3. And just off the front iron there, rebounded by Lindemann. 56-66. McDowell gets the ball, and he's going to go for the drive. He's going to shoot it, and doesn't fall there. Rebounded by Casey. Casey giving it to Dobson. Dobson to Dewey. Dewey looking to run some clock out here. He's going to drive, pass it back to Hayes. Hayes over to Casey. Casey to Dewey. And Dewey's going to go on a drive, passing it to Dobson. Dobson wide open. Krob. Krob doesn't take it. And Krob gets called for the travel there. 56-66 still. 10-point lead for the Cardinals as McDowell gets the ball here. McDowell giving it to Blanks. Blanks back to McDowell. McDowell over to Lindemann. Lindemann looks like he's going to go on a drive, and he puts it in, banks it in right there. 16 points now for Jacob Lindemann as we're going to go to a timeout. 66-58. Cardinals lead by 8. Be back with you in a short. We're back for your fourth period. 1:13 remaining. Cardinals up 8, 66-58 over the Ringnecks. As we're going to have Dewey inbounding it here. Dewey passes it into Casey. And Dewey passing it to Van Sciver. Van Sciver over to Casey. And Casey's looking to run some timeout here. Passing it all the way over to Pelton. Pelton back to Dewey, and Dewey's going to get fouled. He's going to go to the line for 2. 51 seconds remaining. Still, Cardinals up by 8.
That was on number 20, Dewey can line for 1-1.
And Dewey going with his first free throw right here and sinks it. $15 points now for Anders Dewey, looking to make it 16. And he doesn't. Rebounded there by Keith. And McDowell almost gets it to roll in, but rebounded there by Casey. And Casey gets it stolen there by Richmeyer.
That was on number 5, Casey, third personal.
That'll be Casey's third personal foul. And we're going to have Richmeyer go to the line to shoot 2.
Richmeyer at the line, shooting 2.
Go Cards!
Richmeyer sinks his first one right there. Five points now for Richmeyer.
Go Cards!
And he makes it 6 right there. As Dewey gets the ball from Casey, and Dewey's going to try and run away from Hill City defenders. Giving it to Casey. And we're going to get a foul here. Looks like Dewey's going to go to the line.
That was on number 20, Richmeyer, third personal.
Foul is on Richmeyer. His third personal. As Dewey goes to the line to shoot 2. Dewey sinks his first one right there. Dewey now with 16 points on the night. And his second one is good. 17 points now for Anderson Dewey. As Lindemann's going on a fast break right here right away, and he's going to put it in right there. Good shot there by Lindemann.
That's McLindemann.
18 points now for Jacob Lindemann. We're going to go to another timeout. 18 seconds remaining. The Cardinals up 69-52. Back from the timeout here. Cardinals get on the floor. As Dewey's going to pass in here. Dewey passes it to Casey, and Casey catches it right there. Casey's going to pass it to Van Sciver, and Van Sciver's going to get fouled. 13 seconds remaining in the fourth period.
That was on number 30, Song. First person.
As Van Sciver misses his first one right there. .11 seconds remaining. Hill City's going to look for a quick three right here. Not going to do much, but or Plainville ball, my bad. After this possession, they're going to look for a quick three. And Dewey's going to go to the line again.
That was on number 30, Long, second person.
And first one is off there by Dewey. Dewey looking for his 18th point right here if he sinks his second free throw. And just off the front iron, rebounded there by McDowell. McDowell down to Richmeyer, and Richmeyer is going to try and put it in. Rebounded by Casey. That's going to be your final score. Plainville 62-69. Hill City 52. I'm Colton Wiesner with Bird's Eye View, brought to you by Cardinal Media Production. We thank you for tuning in. Remember, like, comment, and subscribe. Love you.